Mikey.
And Andy.
With lightenupandShoot.com.
Jiggly. I don't know. Anyways,
today it's all about the triggers, and
it's all about the triggers. And let me tell you what happened. The Cybersinks are finally breaking. You know, they're finally getting to that point.
And there's some other reasons why maybe we should be moving on to a different trigger to make our lives a little bit easier as photographers.
Yeah, so we went on the quest to find the best triggers for the newer, updated backpacker
with triggers that will not break your wallet.
Exactly. That's one of the main things. They will not break your wallet. These are all manual triggers. Cybersinks, Young Duos, PowerSinks. Find out which one is in the new Backpacker Studio and why.
Policy Buff Cybersinks.
Rolling.
Cybersinks. I've been using Cybersinks now for 2-3 years or more, and they're rock solid. I really love these things. They fit in your pocket. They're great. They fire every time. I've never had any problems. I've dropped them on the ground a ton of times.
We've killed a couple of them though.
We have killed a couple of them being pretty abusive. But anyway, one of the disadvantages of the Cybersinks is that you have to have a cord, cable. Cable is something that can easily break, or just an annoying piece of gear that sometimes may fall out of your bag.
Yeah, because it fires through the PC port.
Right.
What's the PC port?
PC port here is in the size technology that's kind of dated really for photography. Anyway, so you plug in your, this goes on your hot shoe, this one right here, usually Velcro it, and you got this kind of thing dangling. The problem with this is that sometimes the PC port can get a little bit loose, right? Or sometimes it can get a little bit dirty. And the problem is that if you don't have a really good connection, it's not going to fire. So here you are troubleshooting, you're on the photo shoot and you're troubleshooting, trying to figure out whether it's the battery, the cable, the PC port. So that's the only disadvantage of the Cybersync. They're under 150 bucks for the pair, but they have worked for me. So I think Andy is going to show me now some other options and maybe try to convince me that maybe I should do away with this thing and try some new triggers.
We're always trying to update the Backpacker
Always
Studio,
trying to update. If you can show me how to get rid of this thing, I would be pleased.
Yeah, we're always updating. We always want to make it the best.
Whatever you want. Young Duo RF602 radio transmitter.
It is rolling.
Young Duos. Let me tell you how much I love these triggers. And the reason I love them is because they are $50 for a pair. 50. You know, they're not as well built as the Cybersinks or the PowerSinks that I'm going to show you, but for 50 bucks, does it really matter? I mean, these things are 16 channels. There's at 2.4 gigahertz, so they have a really long range. They don't use a PC port, which is one of my major complaints about the Cybersinks. You actually put the flash right into the hot shoe. One of the downsides though is once you have the flash on the hot shoe, this has to go on top of your umbrella bracket and the bottom is plastic. So if it does fall over, it's pretty much broken. Solution is two. There's two solutions possible. One is not to even use a cold shoe and to put it directly onto your stand using the little, the screw. And number two is to use a horizontal flash mounting bracket instead of a cold shoe. And what happens is, now that the trigger's in the air, it's not that wobbly. It's awesome. But probably the coolest feature is this little cable it comes with, which will turn your flash trigger into a wireless shutter release. So that's awesome. Wireless shutter release for 50 bucks, totally plus cool. Trigger for your flashes. I'm sold. Young Duos. Highly recommended if you're on a budget, if you're a pro that doesn't want to spend a lot, or if you're somebody that takes really good care of their gear.
PowerSync 16 by Impact Radio Triggers.
We're rolling.
PowerSync 16s.
PowerSync. These things are rock solid.
Yeah, these things are pretty much rebranded flash waves, a little bit less expensive than the flash waves because B&H Photo's the one that took them over. But they are the exact same thing. They're rock solid. They're 2.4 gigahertz, 16 channels. I mean, these things are built like a freaking tank. They're, in my opinion, the reason we're using them now is because they are a mixture of the Cybersinks, the Policy Buff Cybersinks, and those Young Duos. And the reason they're a mixture is because they have the rock solid build of the Cybersinks and the durability. Plus, it's got all the hot shoe function of the Young Duos. So I could get rid of that PC port, which I hate so much. Unfortunately, since it is a hot shoe flash, I do have to mount it on my cold shoe, just like the Young Nuos, and it does have a plastic foot. But the difference is that this plastic foot is removable. So these little, they sell these little accessories for pennies, man. So it doesn't really matter. You're not breaking a trigger, just like the Young Nuos. Every time they fall over, you broke the actual trigger itself. Or you can use the other solution, which is to put it right on your light stand, which is what I like. The other really cool feature about this is it comes with a little lanyard and a whole bunch of ton of stuff. Look at this attention to detail. They put this little thing on here so you can change your channels, because it does have 16 channels. So I mean, that's a cool little feature. And my pride and joy is they have on and off switches. Okay, not only on the trigger.
Right, Cybersinks, you can't do that.
Yeah. But also on the receiver. So it's on the trigger and the receiver. We have on and off switches. Told you, they're like a mix, right? It's awesome. These are the ones that are highly recommended if you got a little bit of cash, because these are the same price as the Cybersinks, about $150 a pair. But these are recommended for ruggedness, kick-assness, and pretty much all lighten up and shoot style. These.